What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So right here we have Ruby. Last we left off, we ended up doing the custom radiator support on this thing to mount the radiator, the oil cooler, the intercooler. So all of this could be bolted on right there, and of course the radiator itself is mounted onto this thing. And we included the hood latch areas right here, the safety latch in the middle as well, that customized to add the mounting points for these two things right here. But right now, as you guys can see, engine bay looks so damn clean. I just cleaned it up I gave it a good cleanup for the first time in a while. It's not all dusty how you guys normally see it on the IG reels. But we got Rudy, we got Mercs. Mercs just went to drop off the battery for Ruby to get charged at AutoZone. Rudy right here is gonna help with getting this thing started.
Maybe.
So that is going to be today's video. We're going to attempt to do the first startup on this car. But before we do that, there's a lot of things that we need to do. A lot of small things that we need to do. So first, before we get to the first startup, there's a lot of small things that we need to do and button up. Like we're missing the bolts for the manifold. The O-rings around the spark plugs need to be swapped out, which we have new ones right here. Rudy already got started on fixing this fuel pressure regulator. This hose was all beat and it got ran over. And then we got more fittings, some of the piping. We got new clamps. We need to figure out all the hardware right here. Custom bracket that got cut out right here, so we can actually adjust it to go lower. So we could run just a alternator and a crank pulley belt only, instead of having all the other pulleys around it. We're not doing AC. We're not doing the power steering. That's going to be up front. So maybe later on we'll get to the Volvo power steering pump. But for right now, intercooler has to come off and get thrown in the parts washer, because if you guys remember when we first did the twin turbo setup, the motor blew up and then there was a bunch of oil inside the intercooler and we never cleaned it up. So right now is the time to get this thing all cleaned up. So we're going to do that first, and then we're going to start buttoning up everything else. So I'll be doing a time lapse on this thing for right now, and then I'll get back to you guys. All right, so we got the car up on jack stands. The car is basically, we're gonna button up everything from the underside first, then work our way to the top. Intercooler's already in the parts washer getting washed, so we'll be getting back to that. But for now, there's a lot of the suspension that needs to be buttoned up. We need to make sure everything from the bottom is good to go as well. So we're gonna do that first, and then we'll do the valve cover seals. Make sure we have all the bolts for the plenum, which I did order new ones. We're doing a custom pulley and belt for the alternator and the crank pulley right there. So little by little, we'll go through everything. All right, Rudy, what's the update?
I'm tired.
Get to it.
Second cup of coffee for the night.
Get to it.
And
We got
fuel.
We got fuel. So we already got all the fuel system hooked up. Add power to it.
Go ahead, Mercs.
Yep. Ready? Yep. About a little under 60 psi of pressure. Yeah. And we mounted it to the Cosworth manifold right here. You guys can see that. And everything else connected on the back. But the actual manifold is not bolted on yet, so we need to get that bolted on. And then now I believe we need spark plugs, which we have brand new spark plugs right here. So we'll be adding those. And then possibly for startup.
Would you need to do cooling lines?
Coolant lines are done.
No.
Oh wait, no.
This
Yeah,
one.
not the
this
heater. The heater line in the back.
And then we need to route this one to the tube that crosses over to the heads. And then we need to do the vacuum lines.
Never mind. We got a lot to do.
No, it's just coolant lines.
A lot of detailed stuff to do.
Yeah, it's just coolant lines,
Vacuum lines.
and then we just need to put the intercooler piping on, right?
I believe, at least from the charge pipe and up to the intake, it should be fine. Actual intakes themselves is another story.
Okay,
The intakes for the turbos.
Well, we just need to do piping, coolant, get it right.
All right, so back on the time lapse. That's what we're recording right here.
It helps the speaker lead his audience into the scene he described by creating an imaginary picture. Usually it's something that moves. So then, why?
All right, so we have everything hooked up. All the air cooler piping is on. Rudy finished all the fuel system. What are you doing right now?
Battery tray so I can put the battery.
So we had the battery charge at AutoZone.
Nice Optima to go.
Yep. So coolant's in, oil's in. So first startup, I'm super nervous, but nervous.
Hey, the worst thing that's gonna happen is we're gonna have to put it apart all over again.
I'm tired of this grandpa.
You know,
For real. Pretty.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, I know. The ignition switch is on.
It's back to life.
I'll load this one too. You ready for this?
Fucking the airbags are gonna deploy. Everything is just gonna,
Fucking AC's over here.
the whole thing is gonna blow up.
Specialty Z.
Hey, I remember those good old days.
Specialty Z tuned.
Wow, they branded too? So they had this on mine too?
I don't know. I don't know about yours.
Well, I got it too with them.
I know you.
Before you.
Injectors mark still over here?
Yeah, that's
Them eBay ones?
eBay injectors.
Damn.
We need to crank it. We're gonna crank it right now, just to get the oil going through the whole motor, and then we're gonna start it.
I'll go for it. Wait, actually,
Huh?
let me take this off.
I'm gonna stand behind Merck just in case.
Where's your phone on? Just go for it.
Damn.
Sorry, you said shit.
Fuck, don't tell me that. We have extra ones. We have 2 extra
Hold
shirts.
on, hold on.
It's gonna smack the fuck out of it.
Taps, 3 taps, that's all it needs.
Oh, the driver's phone?
That's idea. I'm nervous.
Go for it. Wait a minute.
Whoa. It's not even connected.
You know, it's not connected.
Bruh. Blue balling for real.
Here, give me the phone. going. Let me just make sure. Alright, so we gonna do that, Eddie?
You ready? You ready, Eddie?
Do this shit. Yeah.
So take this shit out of the way.
Heart pounding.
Poor Eddie.
My heart's pounding for the right reasons.
This is about to be a good night or
Boom! Damn.
go for it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Priming the fuel. The fuel system's been emptied out. I hear the fuel pump.
Let's try it.
Again?
No. Hey, where are your grounds?
That's a wow, no wonder. All the more? What do we need, Rudy?
Hmm?
What do we need?
Food.
Food. See that?
Yeah.
Was it?
All right. Wait. Oh, wait. All right. So first, start with the crank sensor.
The crank sensor's plugged in, the air fuel sensors are not plugged in, and there's a couple of leaks we gotta fix, but we just wanna see a reaction out of this thing right now, so. It's for the birthday boy. And there you have it.
The wheels are spinning.
The what?
The wheels and lights are spinning.
Oh, they were?
All right, run it one more time. Simon.
There you go, birthday boy. We connect the air fuel sensor.
Yeah. Yeah.
It'll help, it'll help.
Damn. Damn.
Alright. That's a big ass win. Yeah.
So it's been quite a few years. It's been about 2 years and a half now since we got a startup on this thing. And after all that bullshit of, the motor blowing up, the turbo's blown, the interior and everything, the car getting broken into, we finally have a first good big step forward on finishing this build. So with that being said, there's still quite a few things that we need to touch up on and fix. Like this ground wire is just straight into the battery. The alternator wire is just right here. Like all these little things that we need to tidy up and clean up. And, still need more hose clamps, some vacuum lines are in the back that we just looped around just to kind of get this thing to start. Down here, we got this custom 101. I'm pretty sure you won't ever see this anywhere else. But look at the size of this belt. See if I can get you guys a better picture. But it's just one belt that goes from the alternator to the crank. There's no power steering pulley right here. There's no the idler pulley that's right here. And we don't have the AC condenser. We're not running AC. But look at this thing. I had this bracket modified by Ryder to basically modify and cut the little slit that it has to go further down so we can actually put some tension on this belt. So custom 101 stuff right here. And then we have one of the intake filters for the turbos that goes down there. This side doesn't have it on, but you can see one of the turbos right there. But definitely super exciting because we could get this thing to actually start and work the way it's supposed to go. I need to swap out this hose, the braided hose, because Rudy forgot that I had that. So he ended up making a custom one out of some coolant hose, but we're going to be swapping this out to a braided one as well. That being said, this is a good big first step onto getting this car done. Majority of the intercooler piping is on, majority of the suspension is on, but it's kind of loose, so we still need to go over that. Super excited. We got the fuel pressure regulator right here. Nothing too crazy, but literally just some like random loops on the vacuum lines. We don't have anything on this PCV right here. We need to put this valve cover back on, tidy up the wiring on this, like this one, tidy this up, make it look nicer. We got the sway bar that still needs to go back on, redo this air suspension, a long list of things. So before we get to everything else, let's make sure this motor actually runs the way it should, and then we'll move on to whatever else, basically everything else that the car needs. New wrap, wheels, tidy up suspension, air suspension, interior, etc. But we'll get to that one step at a time. So with that being said, I'm hoping we still make it to WeekFest San Jose. If not, if we don't happen to make it for whatever reasons, we'll see which next show we will be going to. If we don't make it for WeekFest San Jose, we'll definitely make it to WeekFest LA. We'll see if there's another show somewhere in between where we could go if need be, so we could kind of show you guys the complete build once it's actually done. But in the meantime, first startup is done. Next up, tidy it up and move on to the rest of the car. But again, thank you guys for always supporting the channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.